Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. All praise, honor, and glory go to the Most High Yahawah in the name of His Son Yahawashi. And I'm back to you another quick one. Just watching some of the brothers' videos and just meditating to myself. It got me to think about this ass backwards government that, totally has everything rearranged and has 2/3 of our people, you so-called African American, Native American, and Latinos, believing in what they pushing forth in their system. And we got to take everything to the scriptures. And the Lord, in Wisdom of Solomon 13, he pretty much describes how these men think and why we're in the situation we're in, where even our women think they're men, how men want to be women, how everything is set up. And it starts from the original thought process on what governs the earth. It says in verse 1, "For all men who were ignorant of Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi were foolish by nature, and they were unable from the good things that are seen to know him who exists," which is his name. He exists. "Nor did they recognize the craftsman while paying heed to his works." It says, "But they supposed that either fire or wind or swift air or the circle of the stars or turbulent water or the luminaries of heaven were the gods that ruled the world." They thought those things that were created were the ones that actually ruled the world, that governed the world. And you can take that back to those Hamites that came up with all those inventions, that the Lord allowed them to have all the inventions so they can have their so-called gods and be used later by the so-called white man, the elite of the so-called white man nation of Edom, to try to trick our people. And our people always have fell for it. It says, if through delight in the beauty of these things men assume them to be gods. So if they assume these things to be gods because they're so amazing to look at and so spectacular, it says, "Let them know how much better than these is their master Yahawah, for the author of beauty created them." You would think they would get the mindset and the common sense to realize that all these things that we see, all the things that are created, that they're not the governing factor. The governing factor is Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi. And we're going to see that happen when the kingdom of heaven comes down to earth. Everything is going to be governed by the laws of Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi, and everything is going to be set back in its rightful place. Right now, since everyone is not governed by that mindset, even us in the flesh, those that are of the hopeful elect, still can't do the law completely, but the law is what it is, and the scriptures are what it is, and we pay attention to that, and that's what rules. So just wanted to bring that out, hoping